Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales. Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Good afternoon. My name is Conrad Gayle. I am the athletic director and head football coach here at Ascension Christian High School.
Coach, appreciate you letting me do this today, get doing an interview with you today at the school on the field. Beautiful day. I'm not going to say what game, but games tonight. You told me your background when you were at Dutchtown, when Landon Collins were there.
Yep.
You were the running backs coach.
Yep.
You went to Catholic High, Baton Rouge. Spent your whole life out in Ascension Parish, basically.
Yeah.
And tell everybody about your journey that you told me, how you came to Ascension Christian.
Absolutely. No, so like you said, I was born and raised in Ascension Parish, went to St. Teresa, lived 2 minutes from Ascension Christian. Loved playing sports my whole life. Grew up playing sports, went to Catholic High, graduated 01, played ball over there. Then I continued on at Southeastern as a student coach under Hal Mummy. Kind of worked my first years when Southeastern was really bringing football back. Matter of fact, a short story, I saw Coach Mummy walking past the athletic department, and I just happened to pull in. I love sports, couldn't play, wasn't at that level, but I loved being a part. I always coached, and so I knew I wanted to maybe get into coaching. So I happened to see him. I went up, heard him say, "Hey, my name's Conrad, I'd love to help out." He said, "Hey, come see me tomorrow and let's talk." And so next day went over and I went and met Coach Mummy, sat in his office, talked over, and he kind of said, "Hey, look, this is what we're doing. We're starting up, volunteer, do whatever." And so I actually was the first walk-on practice. I remember they had the first walk-on practice to get kind of the team back. I had an old camcorder recorder. I had it on my shoulder, and I was filming for him, Coach Woody, and some of the coaches, the talent. And so I was at the top filming that. So from there, I just kind of, like I said, I was around the program. So from a student coach to quality control kind of offensive side, I did a lot with the offensive side.
That's a great story, because if young men are seeing this, hearing this from you, never say never.
No, absolutely. You never. And like
persistent.
I said, I never knew. I enjoyed coaching. I coached my younger brother some teams, and I always loved the sport. I mean, growing up, that's all we played. We took vacations when we made all-star teams.
But if you weren't been persistent, that would have never happened.
And so I saw that. He gave me an opportunity.
Yeah.
Met some great friends. I mean, obviously, Coach Mummy is well known. I mean, you talk about the air raid, you talk about football. He's well known with Coach Leach. Actually have quite a few from that staff. Coach Mason Miller was the O-line coach. He's now at Baylor. Gary Goff used to be head coach at McNeese. Shannon Dawson was he's now at Miami. So there's a lot of good guys that knew the game.
And you were friends with Dennis Rowland.
And Coach Rowland was actually our O-line coach. And Coach Rowland was our O-line coach. And when Coach Mummy and the staff went to New Mexico State, Coach Rowland asked me, and I kind of stayed and helped Coach Rowland for a couple years, and then that led me to the Dutchtown years. And so when I finished at Southeastern, I knew Chris Scheck-Snyder over at Dutchtown really well, and got involved with the baseball program. And then he introduced me to Coach Benny Saya, who I have a ton of respect for. I love Coach Saya. Gave me the opportunity to work with the offense. Coach Blake Clean was our offensive coordinator. Kind of helped on the offensive side, kind of running backs, I guess you say, was primary, but then I did a lot of signaling for the Friday night. So it was a lot of the, again, offensive side of the ball. And so I did that for a few years on the football side. I think it was 3 years at Dutchtown. Had athletes like Ephraim Reed, Landon Collins, Mason Nickens.
And now he's at Wake Forest coaching.
Yes, Ephraim Reed was at Michigan State
right.
but Wake Forest. So had just a ton of talent. It was some very good years, but some quality coaches. I mean, some men that I really looked up to and mentored. You had Bill Mitchell was our receivers coach. Chris Daigle was defensive coordinator. Coach John Talley, who just passed away recently, was our D-line coach. Bill Jones was our O-line coach, who was at Episcopal for a number of years. Just, I mean, you want to talk about a solid staff, some quality men that I looked up to and really didn't know at the time what I was learning, but I learned so much, and they were so helpful in my growing up and learning the coaching side of the ball is really where I learned that at Dutchtown. And then from Dutchtown, I actually coached Josh JP, who's our assistant principal here. He hired me to be the head baseball coach here at Ascension Christian. And so in 15, 16, 17, when the flood happened, 15, 16, 17, I was actually head baseball coach here. And so knew the program, my kids were here. And then I got away from it and went to Louisiana Cat and was kind of involved in the construction side. Did that, enjoyed it, selling, became general manager for Bobcat. So I kind of grew up there, and then had opportunity kind of call back from Josh and some guys with Ascension Christian, I guess, in March, and saying, hey, what's your thoughts about getting back in? And I've always missed it. I miss the relationships with the kids, with the coaching staff. It's just, a Friday night in South Louisiana, football is kind of what we live for around here. And so I missed a lot of the relationships. And so I my wife, huge support. It's like, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. I always feel I can always go back into that sales career, but you never get a chance to be athletic director. I went to Southeastern, and that's what I kind of majored in is the sports management kind of side, kinesiology part of it. And so in March, it hired me on. Things were kind of crazy. We first got here, kind of some people had left. The program was very questionable. You really didn't know the facts.
Yeah.
When I literally first got here, I think we had 8 people, guys on the team that were really signed up, or dedicated to the football program.
Working out.
And so we've had a number that kind of just went on their way, and so what we did, I got first off, got some quality coaches that I can say, look, I can't do it by myself. I know it's 1A and we don't have the funds, we don't have the staff, but I went and got some quality guys that I know, Joe LeBlanc, Kurt Fall, Carl Tyson, that have been around the program that really care as well.
And just so people know this, because this might be seen all over the state, 2025 this year, so they don't know it's 24.
Yeah,
so.
sorry, this is 2025.
Your first year at Ascension.
This is first year in it, and so 2025. This is the 2025 season, and so we got the staff, and what we literally did is we almost talked with one-on-one meetings with almost every student from 9th through 12th grade here on the campus to say, hey, come be a part. Lee, what we really want here, yes, we talk about wins and losses. You play the game to win. But it's so much more that people forget about nowadays. These are these high school young men's experience.
Yeah.
High school is outstanding, and we rush life so fast that there is no reason at all that we can't give these kids a beautiful Friday night atmosphere. Yes, do I want to go to the Dome? Is that all of our goal? That's, of course, everybody's dream. You want to win. But at this school, winning is important, but developing young men. And when I got here and I talked to a lot of the parents and I talked to the staff, my number one goal is to build these young men and these young women as athletic director into leaders in our community. Because whether we like it or not, the game's gonna pass us by.
Yeah.
The spikes will come off, the gym shoes will come off, the cleats will come off. The game, Father Time will always win. But these young men that come to Ascension Christian and young ladies, they're gonna be fathers, they're gonna be wives, they're gonna be employees, employers, they're gonna be moms, they're gonna be dads. It's my job to get them ready for that. And so I'm very excited for the opportunity to develop and to build a program where we really teach these kids leadership on the field, but more importantly, off the field.
Before we go, Coach, tell everybody, who would you like to thank where you are as a coach today, some of your teachers?
Wow, I mean, I
know Saya was one.
The list is
Mommy.
on. Obviously, Coach Mummy and the whole staff at Southeastern, because even though I was quality control, GA, you did a lot of the grunt work, you respected the game. Yes, I learned a lot of the offense. You can say at the time I didn't understand what I was learning, but from the film, from there, Coach Mummy and the whole staff at Southeastern for just the opportunity. But Dutchtown is where I developed into a young man that knew how to teach kids on and off the field in high school, because you develop. And so Coach Saya, Coach Chris Schexnayder, Justin Morgan, Coach Bill Mitchell, like I said, Chris Daigle, I mean, the list is on and on, the whole coaching staff at Dutchtown.
And since it's a private school, people want to enroll, they can live anywhere basically to come here. Tell them how they can get in touch with you, or who can they get in touch with to look at the school, come visit.
Absolutely. I would love to tour, to talk to anyone that's out there that again, understands what we're building. Yes, we're going to play to win the game. We're going to practice to win the game. We're going to have the off season to prepare the kids, the X and O's. But what we're developing is young men and young women on and off the field to be those leaders. And so contact me. I'm the athletic director here. Again, it doesn't matter. We offer so many different sports, from tennis to golf to baseball to softball to football. Great powerlifting program, outstanding volleyball. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And so contact me. My Conrad C. Gayle at aclions.org. You know,
And that's
contact me with email.
Gayle.
Gayle. So
Gotcha.
C Gayle, CGAYLE at aclions.org. And please, I am 24/7. I will be willing to answer any questions and to talk about their future.
Congrats on the season. I don't want to give the record out because we don't know where this is going to play, but you're having a good season. Good luck for the rest of the season, and appreciate you, Coach.
No, thank y'all so much. It means a lot to really promote our young student athletes. So thank you.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.